Whoa, now there's your boy the Toothless Wonder, back with another video, reporting live from the Bamboozled Again News Network. I guess being, of course, I got the word bamboozled from Malcolm X. Led astray, hoodwink, run amok. We didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on us. And I go back, even though I guess he was a, devout Muslim, right? I refuse to believe with all the work he put in for the people, going out like a martyr, branching off from the nation, that there ain't no place. It don't say it in the word, but I just want to truly believe that just for his valor, courage, his love for the people, putting the target on his back and dealing with all that, there's got to be a place up in the heaven for him. It got to be, cuz, you know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not going to use New Breed and Ringo's names in the title, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm jumping on the bandwagon or whatever. But I just can't stop thinking about this situation. They say a smart man learns from his mistakes, a wise man learns from the mistakes of others, and we're all gonna make mistakes. And that used to be one of my things why I couldn't stay sober, because I felt like I had to walk a tightrope. I had to be perfect. I gotta be I gotta be on point. My game gotta be on tippy top level, because one slip and I slide all the way down the mountain as I'm crawling up this steep incline. You know what I'm saying? But then the Most High helped me come off of that, because when I made a genuine mistake off of not having the information, he covered me, and then I learned something I previously didn't know. This video is more or less just about what I perceive in society, where everybody, whether they're good at it or not, and sometimes they don't seem good at it because maybe I've evolved in this area, but it seems like everybody's on this dark psychology. Everybody, in their mind is a legend and a master manipulator. You know what I mean? We live in this, I typically use the plantation construct, analogy, even in society. You know what I'm saying? It's still a plantation where the slaves, quote unquote, there's this environment of competition amongst the other slaves, even though we're all in this together in whatever our various positions are. And the controllers at the top, or the slave master, whatever you want to call it, keeps fostering this environment. As much as we might say, we need to come together or see the necessity to do so, the environment that he's cultivated, that he controls, will always foster this, jealousy, competition, like the Willie Lynch letters, pit the dark skin versus the light skin, man versus woman, things of that nature, man. But I just can't shake, my feelings in regard to Ringo. And again, this isn't because he's from New York, even though I see a lot of New York cats, what's the science be, you know what I mean? The 5%, the supreme knowledge, and, things of that nature. Where I think I really just can't shake the feeling that and this is no slight to New Breed. You know what I'm saying? Now I understand to a greater degree, looking at this situation, how, the weapon forms, it just don't prosper. When I was thinking last night, just assessing the situation and the nuances in totality of how I believe that the pit that he's digging or attempting to dig for New Breed, he's going to fall into it. When you're fixated on a certain outcome, it gives you tunnel vision. So you're not able to see the big picture or the long-term ramifications. You know what I'm saying? I personally think the way he's going about this, the quorum in which he's doing it, the veracity, and I truly believe he had this planned out to a certain degree. Again, like I said, how do you claim hurt? When you're hurt, you're in the midst of an emotion. That's why they say you shouldn't make decisions when you're in your emotion, because you can't critically think. But yet strategically, you're coming out with a movie about a moving trip that went left. But you know what I'm saying? And then I'm thinking he did say that, he's getting the likes, clicks, and views, and that's what y'all here for. And y'all want to see drama, y'all want to see bloodbath, so he's feeding into that purposefully. does the Most High true, even if, like I said, even if it went down the way he say it went down, as far as how Ringo describes the chain of events, is he doing this in the right spirit? You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it, okay, you rah, 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 but then you drop it like, wow, damn, hold up, man, let me, you know what I'm saying? He still pedal to the metal with this. Does the Most High truly approve of how he's going about this? Even if everything you say is factually correct, this seems like overkill at this point. You know what I'm saying? And I think, we're here, okay, let's say the audience is here for a bloodbath, like the gladiators, okay. But if you never checked out any of his content prior to this situation, you couldn't tell that he's supposed to be, a brother in the truth, or a brother who, follows the law, statutes, and commandments. You know what I'm saying? It seems to be a ploy to get him to the next level. What other intent or motive could it be? You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said, like, in my humble opinion, you know what I'm saying? Not to try to interject myself in nobody's situation, you know what I'm saying? Just on YouTube talking like everybody else talk, you know what I'm saying? No matter what Breed does, like, I saw the video, he was talking about, man, you brought up my kids, bro. I'm like, I'm listening to him because I watched Breed first. I'm like, yo, he didn't do that, yo. I'm like, yo, he was describing the situation, said y'all had to tend to the kids. Then you blew that way out of proportion. Like the mind is just so, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, and there's so much overkill that I think it's going to start being off-putting. Like, yeah, the shot fell, okay. Then after a period of time, like, come on, cuz, like, you going a little bit too far. I think even his audience might start feeling like, come on, cuz, like. And then, in the Tom and Jerry kind of thing, or Batman and the Joker, like, if the Joker is off the show, it's not as exciting. So let's say he run whatever, his agenda is, and now New Breed's reputation and, is, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, is completely destroyed. Then what? Then what you gonna make content about? What, you didn't go back to the scriptures? Vengeance is mine, says, you know what I'm saying? If you felt that wrong, and like I said, like, I can tie it to personal situations where something happened that was threatening my progress. I pray, and I'm like that, but yeah, I could do it. Yeah, it'll work. But I'm taking the vengeance into my own hands. Just like when, Saul was trying to kill David. He didn't take the move into his own hands. And I'm pretty sure, and that's where we get a lot of the Psalms from, where he's crying out and his bones are dry. And he could have got to him a couple times. I said, nah, I can't. He's still, God's anointed man, And I know I'm prophesied to be the king, but I can't take it this way. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I want to get back into this, like, dark psychology. These brothers who practice. Now, I've read it, like The Art of War and the 48 Laws of Power, just for informational purposes. But I don't operate in that stuff. I use it more for identification. Like, oh, that's what he's trying to do, or that's what this behavior means. So in wisdom, I can navigate around these folks or make the proper call for whatever they're trying to do to not, you know what I'm saying, woo-doo-woo-doo-woo, you know what I mean? But I'm not out here, when I do have social interactions, implementing these type of tactics on folks. Because I do see the vulnerability in people. It's like, how they say someone who's abused has a greater propensity to abuse others when they get to a position to be able to do that. Praise God, I'm on the opposite, like, because I've been bamboozled, I try to help others not be bamboozled. Not get bamboozled, carry that hurt, and then try to turn around and bamboozle other people. Or prey on other people, you know what I'm saying? And I just think, he used the up top version of dark psychology. You know what I'm saying? Almost like Columbiana when she was like, you're exactly where I knew you would be. That's why, like I said, you got to be very careful when you're just not perfect, not none of that. But you just have genuine motives and intention. Just a decent heart. You still have empathy. You know what I'm saying? You still care about the plight of others without putting yourself, as best you can help it, in harm's way. It's almost, even though these are noble attributes, without wisdom or discernment or whatever the case may be, you put yourself in the position for others to essentially attempt to harvest your soul. That's like when they say, like, in the dating world or whatever here, and modern dating Babylon or whatever, and all the quote unquote good men have all these super crazy stories about women. It's because they perceived your goodness, your genuineness, and attempted to destroy you, in the sense of, like, if I destroy you, I get a level up, I get power. I destroyed this good man. It's like, like them Aztec wars, after they get a kill, they put a mark on their back, and they're comparing, like, oh, that he got 50 marks, so he has show enough. You know what I mean? And I seen one of the brothers, I think it's Epic, I think his name is Epic Mindsets, and I carry a lot of his sentiments. You know what I mean? But it's just so. Granted, he pulled him in the water, but I don't feel like Breed was stupid or whatever. He was coming from the heart. There was no way. I mean, of course, hindsight 2020, but there was no way. Like, he was down by law. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, like, a lot of these street cats, talk about the street code, this, that, and the third, but nobody's really adhering to it other than lip service, because there's no benefit to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we in a situation, and I'm down by law, so I act accordingly, but now I'm facing all this jail time. Now people say I'm real, but now I'm the one suffering. That's why everybody's snitching or whatever, because nobody's sticking to no code. I think I saw a video of Troy Ave, and he said something very profound. He was like, you can stick to the G code, but it's only beneficial if everybody around you is operating the same way. Because if not, then you're at a disadvantage, because you're not going to tell. You're not going to do X, Y, Z. These people are going to do anything to save their own tail or to put themselves in a better position. And this just reminds me of how I see just the predatory nature of society in these social groupings, where there's underlying jealousy, or they're not together because they really fooled each other like that or got genuine love for each other. They're propping each other up in social groupings or extracting whatever the benefit out of it is. But you can tell where somebody's true heart motive is when something happens. And when this situation, which I guess, a misunderstanding, as Breed put it, and alluded to such, goes to this length, there was malice in the heart to begin with. What was 38 Special's verse? Something in your heart, but it gets harder to hide. You know what I'm saying? Now you can, like, in the dark psychology world, whatever it is, what would be the catalyst? Why? You know what I'm saying? But again, when Ringo was talking about there's no such thing, or that's not a valid talk about monitoring spirits, but technically you monitored the man and seen the man goodness and used it to your benefit. But then magically we have a falling out once the job done and you situated. The timing is impeccable. You see what I'm saying? And then not just you use the man and then you break free. That's one thing. I could even see that. That's, I'm not saying it's cool, but then after you elicit the man's services that you couldn't get nobody else to do, and then I don't really believe the whole thing about the moving company and this, that, because they're insured. So if your stuff come up missing, you know what I'm saying? You were just trying to save $1 and repeat. I'm about saving $1. But then say Breed all about money. It's and I learned all that mostly from Breed, and I think the brother Intuitive Anthony are really about, like, narcissism and gaslighting, and we're seeing all these narcissistic traits coming out of Ringo. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all was cool, but you can't tell that there was some semblance of love and brotherhood, as he say, when he's putting it on Breed to make an argument. If you're so quick to destroy the man over misunderstanding, you know what I'm saying? And then all the, projection of, he sneak dissing and do. Come on, man. You're basically making an argument, a preemptive strike argument in public opinion to paint a narrative of the man that I don't believe is the case. You know what I'm saying? And then anything he does, and that's what the Epic Mindset bro was saying. He said the way Ringo going about it reminded me of dealing with my daughter mother. And I was like, yeah, but then we'll say, oh, you were crying. I thought we were men. And are you going about this like a man? You know what I'm saying? Like putting all these labels on you, but then you exhibit these same things in action, deed, and behavior. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you were crying, bro. You were upset while I'm hollering. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then like attempting to like, that's why I say I think he just need to lead alone. Cause no matter what he do, he's gonna like you know, a scorned woman. No matter what you say, he's gonna flip it. You know what I'm saying? No matter what behavior exhibit, he gonna flip it. Any energy you give him, he just gonna put it in the pot and hit it with the fork and come back with some crap and try to sell it to the folk. Whether it's good product or not, don't matter. I'm hitting the streets with this. You know what I mean? Good God of mercy. It's real in the battlefield, cuz. And it's like, yo, and I know the word talk about people's conscience being seared with an iron and da-da-da. You mean, even if he flashed out, I'm talking about Ringo, go to sleep. Like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, like, you really feel good about this? Even if, like I said, even if it was the way you said it was, like old folks used to tell me, I ain't saying you wrong, but it just don't look right. And that's my thing, the appearance value. Like I said, you can't even tell this man has any knowledge of the scriptures. I ain't talking about dealing with Dow who you don't know. This a man you broke bread with. This a man whose energy you've been in. And that brings me back to the dark psychology part of it. Because if you put you know, from what others say, you know, Breed, you know, stand up guy. Of course, ain't nobody perfect. You know, people prone to make mistakes. We're human. You know what I'm saying? But I think he perceived his love for the people, what he was trying to do and accomplish, which is commendable. You know what I'm saying? This probably ain't been done since what? Or attempted since Garvey and probably the Panthers now. You know what I'm saying? For just everyday brothers who not politically affiliated or, you know, 501c3 or religious institutions or whatever the case may be. You know, going about a monumentous task. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, I was thinking about all the probably stuff he deal with in the background, attempting to do this and the spiritual warfare. You gotta be a strong brother to do that. And then this pop up. You know what I'm saying? But I think also it's actually a good thing, because we don't want to get further down the road and get more interlocked, or say they're on the land or whatever the case may be, and then this pop up, or then he run a play and there's more collateral damage, and you know what I'm saying? So I think it's actually a blessing. I think in this time, people's true hearts are being revealed, and it don't take much. You see what I'm saying? So I think it's actually a blessing in disguise. But I guess Breed still has to go about the task at hand and extend the olive branch to brothers. I know they had the situation with Rollo, now this. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me kind of the Gideon story, where, you know, I'm paraphrasing, I got brush up on this, but he rounded up some brothers for you know, to make war or whatever. But then God told him, like, you know, tested them by going to the water, and those who drink a certain way, you know, do. But he ended up like trimming the ranks. That's what I'm saying. Because they weren't, I guess their hearts weren't, or they weren't in a state of preparedness. You know, don't like, I'm paraphrasing, you know. But please feel free to correct me as far as if I'm wrong about anything. But just the dark psychology, yo. To me, that spirit is coming off the man in the video. Like, take brother Uwitazar. Like, I love that brother's spirit so much so it comes through my phone screen. So when he dropped, I like his word of wisdom, and you know what I'm saying? How he delivers his particular message. You know what I'm saying? But now, even though I really take Ringo's content as much, you know, they basically all say the same thing. They might just have you might just be able to reach different people with however you get down with the get down. But the spirit he coming in, this visceral, this, you know what I'm saying? It's off-putting. It's ugly. And I think his whatever his motive and intention is for doing this, he's gonna end up falling into the pit that he's attempting to dig for New Breed, due to the fact that you're going about it in such a way where it's going to turn everybody off. Even if people are looking for, like, God darn, now you're looking ugly. You see what I'm saying? Now it'll become harder to believe things are the way you say they are by the way you're going about it. And these so-say receipts he say he got, I think he planned all this out. You know what I'm saying? Because, okay, I proceed the brother down by law. So at this stage, he should be right here. And that's where the trap is. He don't know it. So I have a receipt for this. Bang. Then we'll proceed on. He'll be at this point here. He's probably going to say this. Bang. Like, that's part of dark psychology, perceiving the movements of others. Technically, you said monitoring spirits don't exist, but you monitored the man's behavior in order to pull this off. You knew that, he extended eyebrows. He wanted to, see if you could be a part of it for the purposes of, like, helping to bring your audience over and make awareness and, whoop de whoop de whoop. But you perceived that in the man, and instead of paying a moving company, which would have been more sound, and then you ain't, since you rolled solo, you ain't had nobody else to help you in this endeavor. You reach out to New Breed knowing he'd be down by law. When he brought you down to the set, he rolled out the red carpet, so you perceived, and you was in the man energy. You knew what was up with him. And it's hard for me to fathom that you seen that and be like, yo, I'm going to use this man to get to a home in North Carolina and buy a new car, and I'm going to just chuck my mans and them to the side, yo. That's all it took. That's all you wanted. You see what I'm saying? But then, without vision and foresight, let's say, and we all know it's going to happen at some point, then who you going to run to? Now we're in a grid down situation. Now is this the best time to roll solo? You lone wolf? You Max Payne out, chat? You gonna protect? You know what I'm saying? And then you a new neighbor. You know what I'm saying? Come on, cuz. Wow. James Brown sold me out for chicken change. But from when I look at history, this is a common trait among our people, yo. The Robert O'Neills, the Judases. You know what I'm saying? The folk who rose up against Moses. You know what I'm saying? They come with the territory. Now, I go through my own battles of spiritual warfare, but I was like, how would I handle this? Now, it's easy to do it on the outside looking in, when you're not feeling the heat, when the man is, and that's what he's doing too in dark side. He's trying to pull him so bad in the deep end of the water. Then he'll make these insinuations about his manhood, and he'll like these little slight names he be using. You know what I'm saying? Now, you'll say, oh, you disrespecting my wife, but then in the same breath, later on say, I don't care nothing about your wife, man. That's your wife. You know what I'm saying? In that spirit, like, I can see, okay, like, that's your responsibility. Like, I don't have nothing to do with, you know what I'm saying, me take care of your wife, you know what I'm saying? That's your responsibility. But nah, that's your wife, fam. You know what I'm saying? I don't care nothing about her, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, yo. But then I used to think, like, with whatever they got constructed now, even when I was younger, I'm like, yo, they had to get this from Satan. Because I don't think the human mind is so set and diabolical to be able to come up with this type of, social programming. And like I said, now everybody's a master manipulator. In their mind. Everybody's larger than life. Everybody perfect. Nobody can even, ego is so rampant, can't nobody admit when they make a mistake. Here's one. Can't nobody show nobody no grace. That's like me, right? God done saved my life 40,000 times, man. And that's just what I can count. But then let's say a brother wronged me or whatever the case may be, and then he come back on some, man, I messed up, cuz. You know what I'm saying? You mean to tell me I'm still supposed to give him a whole bunch of heat? You know what, cuz? I ain't gonna fool with you like that, but all right, I appreciate it, man. All right, man, that's over, bro. You know what I mean? You mean to tell me we can't do that? Where's the forgiveness at? In the same breath, and that's why I think he's knocking his own credibility. You keep hollering the man about money and then say he gave me some of the money back. That debunks the myth right there. If the man was all about money, he wouldn't give you some money back. Like this double forked tongue, this double talk. You know what I'm saying? I contradict myself in the same sentence, but here's what another thing, Master, they just keep talking. And they talk so much and flood the market with all this information that it becomes harder and harder and harder to process the information you already got. Now you don't know what to believe because he's just talking and that's all you can hear. But if you let somebody talk long enough, eventually they tell on themselves. Okay, let's say a 3-day moving trip, and you've already produced 48 hours worth of content. There's got to be a line there somewhere. You see what I'm saying? It's crazy, yo. Then I seen something about he was saying how through a voice memo, y'all can stay, y'all can crash, and whoop the whoop the woo. I think he said on a voice memo, if I'm not mistaken, that Breed didn't listen to. Or I don't know if that was beforehand. I don't know. It's just that all the information is so convoluted. You know what I'm saying? But then now we're making these arguments, or he's making these arguments about these frivolous talking points. If the job done, the man not obligated to stay. You know what I'm saying? Now Breed was saying he never extended that that olive branch or whatever the case may be. Okay, let's say you are correct, he missed whatever, or let's say he did lie about that. In the grand scheme of things, him not staying, what does that have to do with the matter at hand? It just reminds me of dealing with a scorned woman, where here's this main crux of an issue, but then you start talking about all this irrelevant stuff. Then we're so busy going through and analyzing all this irrelevant information, we done totally forgot why we're here in the first place. That's why. And then here's the thing. When it comes to these so-say dark psychologists and narcissists or sociopaths or whatever you want to call them, you know the best thing to do, not even fool with them. Let them talk. Because no matter what you say, they're just gonna put it in the spell cycle and make it seem like you said something you didn't say. Then you arguing about that. If they getting all your energy, you feeding into them. It's either one of them, which I don't subscribe. You either got to go in their mouth or say what you say and be done with it. Because then it'll lose its steam if he just keep talking and you don't respond to him. That's why when everybody, now who, like, okay, let's take the J. Cole, Drake, Kendrick beef. Now everybody said something when he bowed out, when J. Cole bowed out. But he the one still intact. And now he seems like the sound logical person. Because that joint got nasty. People got not comparing it, not wishing none of that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm out. All this need to one up someone, and you know what I'm saying? Just, but I see it not just in this situation, but it just kind of triggered how much I identify these type of tactics in society when I just be moving and grooving, or when I talk to people and they tell me these situations. And it don't be by enemies. It be by the people they was running with, who they were taking pictures with on Facebook, and then had this massive falling out, or and some, you know, everybody sleep with each other, mating. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, where the love be? Ain't no love in the heart of the city. Ain't no love on the other side of town. Man, with that, man, I'ma holler at y'all, man. Ooh, oh.